It is time for another segment of Movie Enthusiast. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done this, so I wanted to do it again. I finally got a chance to see Puzo's, I really hope I said his name correctly, Puzo's The Godfather. It is directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It is a 1972 movie, and it stars Marlon Barron, Al Pacino, James Caan, who is the father of Scott Caan, who played Dano in NBC's rendition of Hawaii Five-0 with Grace Park, and, Alex. I'm not gonna attempt to say his last name because I know I'm gonna butcher it, but he's the son of Scott Caan, which stars a very young Scott Caan, a rather young Al Pacino. Oh, it's 1972. In the 70s, they were like the Wild West for Hollywood movies. Everyone was trying to outdo each other, and it kind of mirrored what was going on in the 70s. The 70s were kind of... The 70s were trying to find their roots after the 60s. Yeah, we all know how that turned out. But I finally got to see The Godfather. I saw, what they were saying about a gem and a classic, things of that. So I dove in and read some stuff that I thought was pretty interesting. Like, for example, director Francis Coppola. So Coppola, when he pitched the idea, Paramount, who was releasing it, said, "Oh yeah, you could do it. Go ahead. We'll just put your name." He goes, "No. When we put the title on, we're gonna say Puzo's The Godfather. Why? Because he is the author of the book. Because it was based off a book. He's gonna get credit when it is due because he deserves it. So credit is due. He deserves the credit. So that's why it says Mario Puzo's The Godfather." Also, believe it or not, Paramount was trying to fire Coppola. They wanted to fire him because he wasn't meeting deadlines. Everything was getting expensive. They just didn't like the way his work ethic was and things of that nature. They tried to fire him, but they obviously didn't because they had one of the successful movies. And this movie was nominated for 31 award nominations. 31. And guess what? It won all 31 of those nominations. That says something. That kind of opened the doors of how movies were to do, Another thing I read was Al Pacino, when Al Pacino goes to the hospital to pledge to his father, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna be a part of this. I'm gonna help you out." It is said, Al Pacino says that those were real tears in Mr. Marone's eyes because he was so moved by it, Also, so you know how Marone is talking for Don Corleone, the patriarch. Well, he said when he auditioned, he put cotton in his mouth. And, to talk like that. And the studio loved it. They ended up doing a mouthpiece made for him. They chiseled a mouthpiece made by a dentist. And he would use that throughout the film. Which now that is in the museum where you could see for yourself. The beginning sequence where Corleone has the cat. The cat was not scripted. The cat was not in the film. That was a cat that they found wandering the lot of Paramount lot, and they took the cat in, and he's stroking it. It apparently, when it went to post production, they had to muffle the sounds of the purring because the cat was purring so loudly you couldn't really hear Maron's lines because of the chest piece. You know, he has to, you come here, kind of has to do that and everything. And they had to do that because the cat was purring. I guess the cat liked being petted. Also, the cinematographer, who's nicknamed Prince of Darkness because he's well known for his lighting because they're very underlit. They wanted to use that because it really emphasizes the shadiness of the Corleone family's dealings. So that's why in certain sequences, when they're dealing kind of dirty, it's very, very low light. I thought that was pretty neat. Coppola, would like once in a while to make improv meetings, meaning that he will take the cast, and the cast has to act like their character without breaking character. They have to stay as that character and really stay in character. He oftentimes would do it over dinner, and they would discuss what they're doing as the character. So they had to stay in those characters, in that persona, to make it more natural and lively, I thought that was pretty neat. Another thing, according to Scott Caan, the slap, or the smack, however you want to call it, that Marone gives, Don Corleone, Marone, Baron, slaps the guy playing Johnny Fontaine, who's like the superstar, the singer, who comes, hey, I need help. I want this role in this film. You need to help me out. And he smacks like, what are you crying for? What are you crying for? You gonna cry? Like, no, you don't cry. So, according to Scott Caan, Marone slapped him. It was not in the script. It was completely improvised. He said that Marone didn't know whether to cry or laugh when he did it. Because it was like an initial reaction, like, what? Like, because the guy playing Johnny was like, what? Like, he was shocked. Like, he couldn't believe it. Like, what the heck, So I thought that was pretty funny. Marone is such a prank. Apparently, he played a prank. So there is the scene where, Vito Don Corleone, he's back from the hospital. He's being taken home. He decided to put weights in the bed that they're carrying him in as a prank so that it made him seem like he was heavy as they're lifting him up and taking him up the stairs. I'm like, what the heck, dude? You are bad. I thought that was pretty funny. A gentleman named Lenny, I don't know his last name, but a gentleman named Lenny, he played Luca, who was like kind of like the enforcer, like the big man. Hey, you go do this, this, and this. So he was very, very nervous of doing his first scene with Mr. Marone. He was stumbling over his lines, things like that, yada, yada, yada. And the director decided to keep it because it showed how authentic, it was genuine. He wanted, to do that. And also later it was added him rehearsing, thank you for letting me have this wedding, for coming to this wedding. I am very honored by it. They kept it in the film. They kept it in the final cut. The scene where Scott Caan's character Sonny Corleone, beats up Carlo, who is his brother-in-law, the husband of the sister Connie Corleone. That scene, apparently it took 4 days to shoot, had over 700 extras. And him hitting him with the trash can was completely improvised. Another improvisation that Scott Caan did was the beginning part with the wedding, where the FBI photographer is taking pictures of him. He takes, like, this was not in the script. He takes the camera and smashes it. Everyone's in shock, like, what? And then he throws money down, here. And, he was asked, well, why'd you do that? Was that in the script? He goes, no, that wasn't in the script. And where I come from, I believe he lived in the Midwest or something. I can't remember what. But, that's what you do. You either pay or you replace it. And in this case, I paid for it because I broke the camera. And that was pretty funny. Yeah, it was just one of those things. There's so much information that I get, I can't give you all of it. One of the bumpers, believe it or not, so like the bumpers, was World War II. So they went after, because at that time the bumpers were made of wood, and the reason why the bumpers were made of wood is during the World War II, metal was very scarce because they needed it to make, what the soldiers needed and so forth, and there were wooden bumpers. So they went after cars that had wooden bumpers to give it more of the feel of where they were. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's just some or majority of the information that I have. I can't give you all the information because this is probably going to be an hour-long video, and I can't have an hour-long video of me rambling about facts and stuff like that. If anything, go check it out yourself. You'll be amazed at what you heard through it. It's a lot of the stuff I thought was the neatest thing. But yeah, The Godfather, if you haven't watched it, watch it. What did I think about The Godfather? I see what they're saying, but I watched the rest of the trailer of the trilogy. No. But yeah, it was good. It's kind of sad. Because Michael goes from not wanting to do anything with the family, but there's this sort of being thrust into it because his father, in the honor of his father. So check it out, see what you guys think. But yeah, this is another edition of Movie Enthusiast, and hope you enjoyed yourselves. So bye.